Welcome back to another episode of me just yapping. I'm so glad that you guys have made it here. Or if you guys are new, hello, my name's Jasmine, and I talk about my life here in Hawaii, and also I do chit chat videos on Mondays so that I can get you guys on just the same program, just get to know me, but also get to know what kind of life I live and just everything. So excited that you're here. This is quite honestly, perhaps might be my favorite episode, dare I say. This concept, I'm so passionate about it and I just want to talk about it. And yeah, you guys have clicked the thumbnail, you guys clicked the video, you know what you're here for. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I deleted my Instagram at like 17. Why I deleted my Instagram in high school is essentially this whole topic. So, this has been a very exciting topic for me to talk about. I just didn't know that I lived such a unique life. So, I deleted Instagram in high school and I got it back in college. So I'll kind of explain why I got it back in college, but we'll rewind a bit. We'll rewind a bit. Yes. So I cannot talk today, but let's hope we get the words out. But yes. So, Instagram was becoming a major new platform when I was in middle school. Like, I think middle school, when like everyone posted pictures of like the sepia toned, like major filters. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the Instagram curated like filters. And, just Instagram curated like major like selfie vibes. Like I remember literally taking a selfie like this and like posting it on my Instagram, which I'm kind of sad that it's like all gone and I like can't ever reminisce on that again. But also another part of me is like, it's gone. Like we need to just let her live. So that's why my Instagram has become so new and it looks new. It's because it is new. I think I started it back in 2021 or something, but I kind of went on and off between posting posts and not posting posts and doing it and not doing it. So it really just was just But yeah, I quit Instagram in high school, which is kind of a not gnarly, kind of a crazy statement to come out of like a high school, like a 16-year-old. And at the time, I was surfing a lot. I was involved in school that I just didn't have time to be on social media, to be quite frank. And social media was becoming a distraction for me. So I was taking AP Physics 1 and C. And then I was taking AP Calculus, AP Psychology, and then AP Computer Science. That was my schedule in high school. And I think I had like one elective. And it was just getting a lot. It was just getting to a point where I was just not getting the work that I needed to get done because I would escape from my responsibilities and go on Instagram as any teenager does. But yeah, I deleted Instagram and I didn't bring it back for at least like 4 years. Like I have one of my closest friends from Germany literally email me. She came to Hawaii on a vacation with her family from Germany. She went to the surf shop that my dad worked at and got my email so she could keep in contact with me. So I kind of want to talk about the benefits of having social media and like the cons and like why I essentially got it back, but like better, I guess. But when I was on social media, I'm just going to openly admit it. I was bullying people. I was mean. And it was just becoming a negative space. And that's when you first could like bully someone with like no consequences, which sounds, I'm gonna get canceled, but like you could say whatever you wanted and like essentially nothing would happen. Like you could say, oh yeah, I think that Annie's outfit looks stupid, and nothing would happen. No embarrassment, no nothing. And nowadays I feel like people are more reluctant to say things like that, or like they're not going to say those things anymore, but because they'll get clapped right back. But I feel like when you're in this like stage of learning social media, you just come to find out that like everything that you were taught is kind of changing. Like whether it be from like learning that you can basically slander someone online, and like you could just hide behind a screen. And I can't imagine children now having to go through that, and like having to go through like all that kind of stuff of just learning how to like manage self-esteem with social media. So like I totally don't blame it. But I think it just came down to, you were allowed to say whatever you want when you wanted, and it was a new concept. Like when I used to go to school in kindergarten, there was no such thing as social media. It was just, you were either bullied in public or bullied in private, but it was in person, that's for sure. And like once you started to have social media, in the beginning, it was a really cute idea. I was like, oh yeah, I can post my pictures on Instagram and like everybody gets to see them, and my family from so-and-so can see how I'm doing. And then it turned more into like secret group chats, or like secret accounts that only X, Y, and Z are allowed into, or like just becoming more shady, to be quite honest. And it just wasn't a positive environment for me. And I kind of used physics kind of as an excuse to be like, I need to delete Instagram. So I did for like 4 years. So I never had Instagram. I didn't have anything. I had YouTube. That's kind of about it. But I had no means of any way of people reaching out to me, which I kind of loved. I kind of loved that nobody could reach out to me. And I feel like quitting or like getting rid of Instagram, and I got rid of it permanently. I didn't like deactivate my account. Like I literally erased my account, which kind of sucked because it did kind of highlight a lot of like my childhood years, and I kind of wish I only deactivated it and not like deleted it. But you know, can't go back on that. If anything, to my next person, I would suggest deactivating it instead of deleting it as a whole. But I think it just does come at a cost. And at the time, I was so ready to just live life. And at this time, I was studying a lot, and I was doing a lot of work for me. So I didn't really have time to like scroll on social media. So it was great. And I didn't really have time to like compare myself to like how other people were living their life, because I didn't know. So yeah, it was really nice. And also, if people like really wanted to keep in contact with me, they would have my phone number. So it wasn't like I was disappearing. It's just that you just don't get to see the social media outlet. Like you don't just get to see like my social media, which I think is cool, because you don't get to like have access to like my entire life after meeting me for like one day, you know? And yeah, but then it came kind of an issue in college when I would meet so many people at like voluminous, is that a word? Or like at a heavy volume. I don't know the correct terminology, but I would meet a lot of people, and it was hard for me to give out my phone number to those people. Like it just is like, because they're like, oh, like I want to see what class you're taking next semester, and it's like, oh, like I have to give you my phone number. Like it's a weird thing. And I think Instagram, that was the one thing that I think was beneficial for it, was that you could keep superficial relationships on there, but also just very far linkages. Like I could message someone that I went to school in high school with, and like maybe they changed their phone number or something, but like I could still message them on Instagram. Like simple things like that, where it's like if, for example, I ran into my childhood friend's grandma the other day, I'd be like, oh, hey, like just ran into your grandma, so nice, instead of like having to text them that, you know? Like sometimes it's a good mediator, I think. Like, I think Instagram is an amazing platform just to gather your intel, or like get to know your people. And then I think getting their phone number is just getting an intimate connection with them. And I think I felt like I was giving away that intimate connection a lot from the start. So like if I vibe with someone, I'd be like, oh, that's super cool. And they'd be like, yeah, like what's your Instagram? And I had to be like, oh, sorry, I don't have one. And I think that kind of cut the tie there, because they didn't want to be like, oh, well, how can I like text? And it's kind of weird. So I just think like now I'm super grateful that I have an Instagram, because I can be like, oh, like just text me on Instagram, and like we can go to the gym or whatever. Oh, just text me on here and I got you. And it's not deep. Like I think not having an Instagram has made it that the connections you make are immediately expected to be intimate. And I think that's just false. Like, I think having an Instagram, even if you don't use it, is like beneficial. I think even if you have an Instagram with no profile pictures and no pictures, but just an Instagram helps a lot, because it's not like you're giving away your phone number or like your email. Like it's different. So I think I would recommend, like, I don't recommend personally deleting your Instagram now, like, and nowadays. Like, I think it was good for me in that moment to like delete. But I think if you're looking for that like recentering and like refocusing, I would recommend just deactivating your Instagram and going from there. Because I think you want to delete it because it's like the big decision, but I think just deactivating it will be just enough to be like just enough time to give you a break. And also you can reactivate it within a certain amount of time. So like it's not a high stakes thing, because Instagram, you just have to remember that when you delete it, you delete all your followers, whether that's someone you met from childhood or all the way until someone you met 2 days ago. So I would just carefully consider those things into option. Like if you plan on like, because I want to make content on social media, so that's why I have Instagram, because I want to make content. So if you're not looking to make content, then maybe having like a super low-key Instagram and like having like a couple hundred followers of just people who know you, like I think would be super cool. And so yeah, just like the negative effects of it that it had on me and like why I deleted it, it was just more so because of just the mental health aspect of it, and just not being I learned to not face my problems as much when I had an Instagram, whether that was if someone says something mean to me, I wouldn't confront them in class, I would just DM them. Or like if I had a problem with a classmate, it would become a comment and not a conversation. And once you stop having conversations with people, it doesn't really turn out well. And also your words can be very misconstrued or interpreted the wrong way. Like if I said, hey, what's up, with an exclamation point versus hey, what's up with a period, it's going to mean two separate things, because the first impression would be like, oh, like, hey, what's up, like, what's up? Or it's hey, what's up, like, hey, what's going on? So words can be easily taken out of context, and your intentions can be taken out of context. So I think in that way, social media can be a little bit negative, or just online texting in general. I like calling my friends, I like FaceTiming them personally, just to get to know their face and their tone of their conversation. But yeah, that's kind of like the negative part about social media. And another thing is like you just tend to compare yourself all the time. Like when I'm starting this new podcast from scratch. I mean, not podcast, but like YouTube channel from scratch. I have 0 subscribers as I speak, 0. And I think it's so easy to compare yourself about like YouTubers who live in the same area, or like YouTubers who have a huge amount of following, or YouTubers who have it all figured out, or YouTubers who bought a house. Like you just look at those things and you're like, ugh, like if only. And it's like, I think that's also why I delayed starting this episode or starting this series, is because I was too busy comparing myself instead of just going. And I think that's something that I miss. And I think that's why OG YouTubers are so like, I don't know, I just started. Like that's kind of their whole concept, because they had nothing to compare it to. Like influencers weren't making millions of dollars when they started content creating. They just did it because they thought it was fun. And I made videos since I was 13, and I still have them somewhere. And it's literally on an SD card full of like GoPro footage of just me and my friend hanging out. And like, I loved making those videos and I loved making content. So that's why I feel like I had to re-get it back, because I had to reignite that spark in me. But I think taking that break away from Instagram has allowed for me to really reflect on just like my content. But yeah, like the positives, I mean, I kind of already mentioned the positives about Instagram and like social media. I'm just mainly talking about Instagram because TikTok wasn't a thing when I was in high school. It was Musical.ly. So it was me doing like the little like, video. So yeah, it wasn't really a thing. So just Instagram. And yeah, I feel like when you allow yourself to feel the way that social media allows you to feel, you can feel a lot of different things and your feed is curated to you. But I think like in the end, that's kind of why I quit doing Instagram, was just because I was tired of seeing other girls who were surfing better than me, or like tired of seeing other people who were successful than me, because I wasn't still settled within about how much efforts I was putting into things. So I think that's why it's really important just to really, if you find yourself becoming bitter over social media or becoming sad over social media, like really think like that's a trigger. Like something is alerting you in your brain that something's wrong. So don't think that, oh, I just don't have enough self-control. I don't have enough of this. I'm too weak. I'm too that. Like, don't think that. Like, think that because you felt something when you watched that reel. You felt something when you scrolled past that girl's post. Like, don't let those triggers just go. I think when I was looking at other people doing better than me, like the biggest thing for me was like when I was scrolling past people and people were getting engaged or people were getting married, I felt myself becoming really bitter and like really jealous. And I think at that moment I had to click not interested and be like, why am I so upset over someone getting married or engaged? And that was a trigger. So social media can be good for those things too, because you can kind of find out a little bit more about yourself, about why you're feeling a certain way or why you're sensing a problem, because it's the first thing that goes off in your head, like ping, you're upset that this went on, like what is it? So yeah, I think it's just more of learning about what's your why. And I think if content creation is what you want to do, I think you have to create content more than you consume it, because I think the more you consume, the less you create, and your mind will become at a mind cutoff. So I think the less you consume, like I go on my TikTok and I post my TikTok and I close the app. And I think that has honestly worked out for the better, because now I don't compare myself. Oh, this did that many views or that did this many views. It's like you don't have the time to compare anymore because you just don't look. Which is kind of sounds avoidant, like, oh, like don't look at the problem. But like if you're at that stage where like anything and everything on social media triggers you, just kind of deactivate it and just let it sit for a little bit. And yeah, I think like not having social media was great for the era that I was in. I was busy, I was hustling. Like maybe if I go into nursing school, like I might have to deactivate my Instagram. But or now like we have app restrictions. Like I use Opal, which is really nice. So just using like app restrictors and stuff is better now. Like we didn't have app restrictors back then. You only had to like delete and reactivate. So I think it's for the better. But yeah, all in all, I think the benefits of social media is that you get a lot of exposure, you meet a lot of new people, and also you get to make new connections. But also the benefits of that is that you deal with lots of comparison, lots of criticism, and lots of just highly curated things. So it's really easy to get caught up in all of that. But I really believe that if you really want to be connected and feel connection, just value real connections you have around you as well. Don't just value the friends on your phone. Value the friends who live around you, who are around you, and really take into account that, you know, a phone's just a phone. A phone is just a little metal object. Like, live life, touch some grass, and be living in the moment. Because I really think that, you know, romanticizing your life is just not being on your phone. You see all the videos doing laundry, making coffee. That's how people used to live in the 60s without their phone. It's just romanticizing it. So yeah, I think before you go on social media every morning, just take a couple minutes to yourself and do some breathing exercise or something. I don't know. But I think, yeah, just really, that's kind of the reason why I deleted it. I needed some clear headspace. So if you're kind of in the same place, you know, consider deactivating and maybe it'll help you out. But yeah, gosh, I don't know what in the world I just said. I bet this is going to be like a 2-minute episode. But let me know if you guys have any more topics that you would like for me to talk about, or if you want me to do any social media challenges, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Comment down below a social media app that you have a love-hate relationship with and how you can fix it down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.